Another video. Glad to have you guys back on the live stream. I'm sorry for the last couple of days. I've been dealing with some family issues, but my prayers have been answered, and we're going to be moving forward, you guys. Talking about some great things coming up in this new year. Like I said, once again, you guys, the market is going to be going into the correction state. So I'm going to be breaking down some things. I'm actually going to do things a little different for you guys now. Starting tomorrow's live stream, I'm going to have actually specific structures and specific things that I go over on every day. So it's not going to be more so, it's going to be obviously about the live streaming, and it's going to be more so about the technical analysis and understanding market material, but it's going to be more precise. So it's not just me going everywhere, because what I've learned is that when I've studied my back my last videos, I can see that I go over a lot of great things, but then it's not really structured correctly. And I want to make sure that you guys have it where you're able to understand, you're able to see it very easily accessible, right? So you can be able to have that dissect into your subconscious mind, so you're allowing to do that. So thank you guys so much for being a part of this Traders Profit team, and I'm going to be doing some killer signals this week and trying to recoup from what I wasn't able to do earlier this week due to me doing having some family issues. So moving forward, you guys, we can see that we have some big news coming out. The US dollar coming soon. We had earlier this morning, we have the pretty much the Fed chairman is going to have his news. We're going to see if the market's going to be able, how many times they're going to do interest rates this year, what exactly is going to have. We're going to also have Canadian dollar. We're going to have the BOC monetary policy report, which is going to be huge. We already had that. And then we have now the what we were talking about, right? The Federal Reserve, the monetary agreement, right? What is going to happen with the Fed, right? The Fed chairman, what are we going to look for? Are we going to have a lot of interest rates this year? Are we going to have two spikes like we talked about? Has price already been involved into the equation of what we've already established? Are we going to see a downward turn for the US dollar for the rest of the year and so forth? So that being said, guys, we're going over a lot of this stuff and having a lot of different information, pricing in a lot of not just institutional buyers, but a lot of things in general. So when we're using this to basically find out what the bigger perspective is. What is the whole entire dynamic factor, and how does this actually apply to what we currently want to do as speculation investors and for us technical analysis traders. So that being said, this is just some good news that's going to come out. We're going to have that nice meeting tomorrow with the Fed Chair Powell. So that's the reason why I'm actually still long USD JPY, you guys, is because we do have the Fed Chair going to have his next news, and he's going to talk about what he's going to do and then tomorrow. And we know that the midweek reversals are establishment on Thursdays when the market likes to spike a different. We have the consolidation. So I'm going to erase this stuff. I hope you guys saw that this is on the Discord already. So I'm going to erase this at this time, and I'm going to give you a dissect what I think is going to happen the next couple of days going into next week as well. So as you can see, price has been consolidating for some time now. We had that huge spike, right, of 285 pips, 290 pips to the upside, where price then consolidated from this high to this low, swing low, and then we saw this range, where this range was basically consolidating for about 6 days now at this time. We're probably going to see another 7-day reversal. So this is where we could probably see buyers are buying here, pulling a lot of liquidity, and they might break out one more time to consolidate, might test that 109,500 as we had in our Discord group for our take profit, that false breakout to the upside, and then we might see a stop down and test 106,500 once again to completely eradicate all of the different sellers and stops in this market. So this is where I am thinking my price is going to be. As you can see, that we see stochastics on this way oversold on this RSI, excuse me. So if we do see this bounce up to the RSI on the 15-minute chart, we might see that bounce to the upside before we see a downturn rejection and have that retracement happen, where my price might then fall off and go towards the 106 once again. So what I want to see in the next couple hours, or I would say in the next 24 hours, is that consolidation of price, test is 109 once again. Once we see that 109 retracement, let me just go in there. Perfect. So once you see that 109, so as we can see, 109 has been a firm resistance area right here. So if we see 109 have that firm resistance area where you saw those wicks being formed, those pending orders were then trapped. After those pending orders were trapped, they then consolidated price some more to give those buyers insinuate a long position, and then afterwards, after they got that long position, they stopped their trades out by hitting 108, 100. Which is probably where a lot of people's stops are at. Once they saw it break this 108, 500, the psychological level, that's why you had that retest at that same level. So then once you saw that buy area, then they're going to consolidate, break those stops once again, might break it one more time, and then possibly have that retracement back to the upside. This is a possibility, you guys. Price might just come back and return just because midweek reversals is a way of saying that prices was consolidating at the highs. Now it's going to go into the lows. So we might just see price just continue back to 106, 500 to retest this previous low, because market always likes to break and retest. We've seen that in all of the historical patterns that we've seen on all markets, oil, gold, NASDAQ, you name it, it always loves to break and retest. So we can see that price possibly might come back into an area, retest these highs, retest these lows, making that lower low, having that formation at that 106, 500 round. After they consolidate price, then they break price back up, and then they drop price back down. So I know that it's going to be definitely at that cycle where it's going to come up and then it's going to come down, kind of like that 6-6 where we talked about the lunar cycle of the moons. And if we didn't talk about that, I'm going to be definitely talking about that with you guys, because it's been mind-blowing for me in the last couple of weeks. Studying, I have my book right here about the lunar cycles and stuff like that. Open up a brand new book for you guys that I've been studying every single day when I've been in the hospitals, helping out my family. So I've been getting on the zone, taking this to another level, and this year is going to be insane. We're going to be killing it, you guys, with the markets, having huge trading days, having huge trading breakouts, and making a lot of money for us to take home to the family or for our loved ones as well. So we're trying to do this all together, you guys. This was a very eye-opening week for me, so we're trying to get to that next level so we can all be able to achieve our goals and succeed. So that being said, definitely going to be on that lunar cycle. I'm actually going to do a breakdown tonight. I'm going to write it down. I'm going to do a breakdown. I'm going to type it all up for you guys. I'm going to have that available. I'm going to do a structure. And what I'm going to try to do is that on the Discord group, I'm going to basically have the structure already set up every Sunday or every Monday or whatnot. I'll basically say, okay, this is the week. This is what we're going to go over. So I'm going to be giving you guys obviously just news and events that are coming out through the week, but I also want to be able to teach you guys and not just really have not just coursework, but more so I wanted to get you guys more understanding of how these cycles work and how these market behaviors are actually programmed into structure and so forth. So bear with me on that. I'm going to try to get that done in the next 24 hours, the next 48 hours at most. So I'm going to be also putting in a lot of stuff in the Discord and the trading and stuff like that. So we're going to be definitely taking it to the next level, you guys. Thank you so much once again for being a part of Traders Profit Club and following my live streams and giving me a lot of support. Even though I've been gone for a couple of days, I really appreciate you guys. And I hope you guys all have the wishes for Raphael. I know he's going through something with his throat and his sickness right now, so we all have our prayers out to him. A lot of people are getting sick right now, so I hope you guys are obviously taking your vitamins, staying healthy, staying that nice positive mindset, not letting the negative affect you, and keeping going. Make sure that you just stay dedicated in whatever you're doing in life and just stay focused and know that you're going to have that breakthrough soon, because there's always a breakthrough, no matter when, but it always happens. It's happened for me, it's happened for you, and you know it. Just have faith and belief, and anything's possible. So moving forward, you guys, I don't want to do too much motivational stuff today. I'm just watching a lot of Les Brown, getting that pump of motivation up. So I'm a little, had some coffee today. So I'm obviously super stoked and super happy about life right now. But moving forward, so we're going to be talking about the Great Britain pound US dollar. And this obviously is the one pair that we are looking to make some big cash on this year, guys. If you guys don't know, I have made my best trade on the Great Britain pound US dollar to this date. That was, I think I posted that actually in the Discord. If not, I'm going to post it afterwards. I'll take a live shot of that, of the count, and then obviously the profit that I took on that trade. My biggest profit trade was on the Great Britain pound US dollar in binary options and in forex. So I love the Great Britain pound. As you guys know, this is one of my favorite trades, one of my favorite pairs to trade, and I've been doing this for about 2 years on the Great Britain pound every single day. So love this pair. This pair is my love of my life. Obviously this is my love of my life. So at this time, you guys know that I love the Great Britain pound, USD Japanese yen as well, and I also do Euro USD, which I love as well. So we're going to go over these pairs, you guys. We're going to break it down, so let's get right to it. So as we can see that this is the bottom, this is where we're going to have price going to be breaking low. So we have a breaking low formation, where a breaking low formation is basically when price has this spike to the low. Obviously RSI got that huge wick to the downside, stopping out all those bullish traders, or excuse me, all those bearish traders. So all the bearish traders that are essentially in the market at this time were then stopped out. So bearish traders, they're going to happen, right? Bearish stop hunt. You can say it's a bearish stop hunt. So this is essentially what we like to call a bearish stop hunt, right? So a bearish stop hunt broke these lows, definitely trapped these sellers, opening up their trends, opening up their pending orders, which we talk about in plenty of videos. We talk about how these spikes to the downside are pending orders. They open pending orders. Whoops, can't spell it, you guys. And I said something really cool to show you guys afterwards. I learned something about this. Obviously, one of my idols, Charles Schwab, who's been an idol of mine. I've read all of his books, and this is actually how I started going trading. But this is a backstory for another day, how I know Charles Schwab, how my family knew him, how I met him in my old town, and so forth. So big stuff, you guys. I'll tell you guys that in a second. So anyway, so bearish stop hunt. So bearish stop hunt is basically when the market tries to trap all the liquidity from the downside, where they see a lot of pending orders, right? Proprietary traders can see the dealing desk, right? Since we're on the low in the totem pole as speculation investors, we really can't see all the pending orders, all the stop losses, and all the take profits. All we can see is our trades specifically. But if we're an institutional bank, we're in HSBC, Citibank, JP Morgan, Berkeley, Bank of America, and so forth, we can see these pending orders. They can see where the stops are at. So 92% of the volume in the Forex market is driven by banks and institutions. So what they do is they try to move price, manipulate price, and drive price off the board for the 7%, 8% of speculation investors, because that's what retail banking, retail speculation, spot market is. It's about driving those 8% and cashing on that equivalence or liquidity, so then they can still have a business, right? Talking about ECBs, or not ECBs, market makers and ECNs, which is electronic connecting networks. Market makers are basically market makers. They are the ones that give you the money, the liquidity to trade your market, okay? So what they do is that they trap those sellers or buyers. They give you get a little test for your money, with this huge wick, obviously stopping out any traders that were long. I hope anybody was long on this position. That would have been really bad. So they stop out traders if they were long, not a lot of long traders. They're basically opening up this pending order, opening up all these trades. After they opened up these trades for the short, because people think that it's going short, right? A lot of pending orders are set probably at 1255500, right? And I say that really quickly. 12555 yeah, correct. Okay, so this is where a lot of price was formulated, right? This is where a lot of price was established, and this is where a lot of pending orders were given, right? Because a lot of these people are like, oh, if it breaks this level of support, I'm going to go short, so I'm going to short the market, and then I'm just going to make a bunch of money, right? Which you possibly could have done, if you're doing high standard lots or you're doing a high margin account. You probably made some huge money on those wicks just to get back in the stop loss to drive your price, because a lot of people probably have their take profits above this stop, above this area, which was 127,500 and 127,550, where a lot of these markets had these stop losses right here. So as you can see, you guys, that we definitely weren't in this trade. But what we are going to look for now is that since all these traders are being in this area, right, this toxic, chaotic, we like to talk about Bill Williams' agenda, which is the chaos theory, which is the fractal formations in the market, right, the algorithm aspect. He sees things from a quantum physics type of paradigm, like ideology, right? He's more so of this scientific type of guy, which I like to do too, but he's got this crazy fractal formation, which I love. So I'll teach you guys and I'll show you guys more about that in the video. She's actually one of the first people I started watching when I started trading binary options. Was Bill Williams' Chaos Theory. It was 3 hours long on YouTube. Guys, self-discipline and self-education will make you wealth. Structured education will get you a job and get you stability. But if you're trying to get to that next level, buy those Maseratis or those Corvettes or whatever you guys like to do, you have to be self-educated. You have to be self-educated. You have to be able to read a book and study or discipline or take the risk outside of your average job. Keep your average job for the time being, but then you also have to get outside of that if you want to grow and be prosperous and bigger, right? And obviously we have failures, we have times where we lose things, we don't have money at times and so forth. That's just a part of life, but don't let that define who you are. You have to grow past that and keep moving forward, because at the end of the day, you will achieve your dreams if you don't lose faith. That's what I'm just trying to say. So moving forward, you guys, this price and the price itself right here, we can see that price is having that divergence. So if you guys know what divergence is, it's basically when you have a lower low or a lower high on price, and you can use a higher high and a lower high, or so higher low and a lower high, sorry. No, higher high and a higher high. So basically what I'm trying to say is this. Price will show you a higher high. So this is probably not a good, let me first erase this stuff. And if you guys don't know what that divergence is, I'm actually going to show you now. So a lot of things are basically based off key elemental structures. So as you guys can see, price has been moving. Let's first find a divergence before we get into the nitty gritty real fast. So okay, so this is probably, yeah, this is perfect divergence. Okay, so divergence is basically when price is making a higher high, and then as we can see in the RSI, when these highs are hit, they're making a lower low, right? A lower high, basically. So price here and price here, right? Or excuse me, price here and price here, this area is making a lower high. So price is going up, but then the stochastic is showing price is going lower, right? So that's called a divergence. You guys can look that up, and it's the polarity aspect of that is that you can do it the opposite way too. If there is where price is making, say that price is coming down like this, making a lower low and a lower low, and then you have stochastics going higher high, then you know that that could be a divergence too, where then price is going to go the way that the stochastics is going. That's where people get confused. They're like, well, how do you know where to go if price is going to do that? The way stochastics is shown, RSI, stochastics, MSI, whatever you like to use. When the conversion, right, the divergence of the price is to the stochastic is the way, or the price lagging indicator can be RSI, stochastic, doesn't matter. That is where price is going to go. That's where price is moving. So that's just something that I learned when I was trading a lot. Divergence is awesome, right? So if you guys trade divergence, which a lot of people do, I'm going to have to do a shout out for Jim Brown. He's one of the guys who created this algorithm that I studied when I first started trading called JAG-AFX, right? He is a trader, Australian trader, really awesome guy. He focuses mostly on divergences and higher time frames, like the 4 hour, not even the 4, like the daily and the weekly. He holds his trades and he does like very, very small lots, but he like holds them for like months, you know? So like he's a comfortable, doesn't really need, you know, he's just like, all right, let me throw it in there. I see a divergence on the weekly. Let me just throw in there and put like, you know, 5 micro lots and see what it does over 3, 4, 5 months, you know? So that's the type of trader he is, and that's a great way to trade. Specifically if you're not trading, if you're not day trading and you're not using the money that you do on a monthly basis to pay your bills or to do it not like that, you can hold your trades and say that, you know, if you have $1 million in the bank or $2 million in the bank, you don't need to be day trading, right? You can just hold a position, right? Do a standard lot and hold it for 4 weeks, 4 to 3 months, right? Have that compound interest, right? Like Warren Buffett, right? He has a 90-10 allocation. It might be 90-20, a little different now, but you know his allocation is pretty precise, right? He has his S&P 500 index, and then he has his treasury bonds, right? He essentially doesn't need to do leverage capital because he's a billionaire. Anybody who's a billionaire, you don't even need leverage capital even when you're in real estate investments. So like you don't need real estate leverage. You don't need stock leverage, right? The leverage is a double-edged sword, as you guys know. You can make a lot of money quickly, but you can lose a lot of money quickly. So this is the disclaimer for this. Use leverage properly. Don't use it. Don't FOMO. Don't go crazy. Don't like, you know, spend your rent money. Don't spend, you know, money that you can't afford to lose. Obviously, this is not the way you want to do your speculative investing. I'm not saying this just because I don't want you guys to like obviously take risks, but there's things called calculated risk and just being stupid. So like I don't want you guys to do things obviously that's going to like affect you, because trust me, I went through this 4 years ago. It's like 4 years ago, right? When I was still like a broke college student, obviously going through my process and trying to become a better person, you know, doing those failing, then obviously spending money I couldn't afford, trading money I couldn't do, stress, all that stuff. It's not even about that. It's about you consciously aren't going to make right decisions when you're stressed out. Like, it's just theoretically impossible. The electromagnetic frequencies that the body produces is not going to be able to attract the positive alignment of what you're trying to establish. You can't have a shitty attitude and expect good things to happen to you, just like you can't have a desperate mindset expect to have abundance to happen to you. They just don't correlate together. They're not in sync. There's no synchronicity, right? So that's just the way the universe works. And we live in a universe, you guys, as much as whatever school wants to teach you, we live in a obviously an abundant and energetic vibrational planet that vibrates energy. You can look it up, or you can just take one of those what are they called? Like they basically monitor energy, and you can just go around like places, and it'll just go haywire. You know, the electromagnetic frequency, like it will just like, oh wow, that has energy. Oh wow, that like everything has energy. So like, you know, that you have to take that into consideration, you guys, that you are what your belief system is, and your belief system is what you vibrate, right? What you vibrate is what you accumulate, and that's why it all rhymes, right? Synchronicity. So anyway, so long story short, you guys, make sure that you don't do this if you're stuck, if you're sad, if you're mad, if you're pissed off, if you're desperate. You don't do this when you're in those state of minds, because that is like something that I totally been through, and it does not work. It's like beating yourself over and over again and trying to expect different results, right? Albert Einstein said that was insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Just like Albert Einstein said that you can't fix the problem with the same mindset that created it. You gotta change that paradigm, then come back and be like, oh, now I can see it. Since I have an alternate perspective, now I can see. And I'm telling you guys this because the stock market is the same thing. You have to have a different paradigm. You can't come in with the same paradigm you did when you lost all the money and expect to make it all back. It's theoretically impossible. You're just going to be trying to see where the first raindrop's going to hit. Oh, and then you get pissed off because you can't find it. No, you have to change the paradigm you have, create a different perspective, be able to change, be subject to change, and then the change will happen. So what I mean by that is that this is essentially what we're talking about when we're talking about technical analysis, going over the US dollar, going over the Great Britain pound, right? See that divergence, right? But if you're in a fear, pissed off mood, or you didn't think that, oh, I lost all this money, I was short. Say that you were short here when price moved down here, and you thought price was just going to keep on going down. You know, you put on 3 standard lots, you start to invest in other people's money, you open up your own business, you think you're a hot shot now, and then boom, price drove all the way back up and took all this price out and stopped you out, right? So now you're like in the red, you're pissed off, you're stressed, you can't sleep at night, and so forth. So when you see this setup happen, you're consciously not aware. You're consciously trying to be in fight or flight mode, so you're completely not aware of all the optimistic structures and ideologies and opportunities that are around you. You're still stuck in this small paradigm, this box, right, of fear, greed, worry, doubt, frustration, shame. Whatever it is, doesn't matter. It's vibrating the same frequency. So you don't see this setup. When this setup then happens, and you could have made all that money back if you were to just meditated, gotten peace of mind, drank some alkaline water, had a yerba mate, been at peace, you would have saw it differently, right? You would have been a whole different mindset. You wouldn't have let the past events dictate your future reality, right? That is when traders screw up. That's why 90% of traders, you guys, 90% of traders lose 90% of their accounts in 90 days. Why? Because of the psychological. It has nothing to do with the technical. You can learn all the technical. It's all psychological. Your mind has to be able to achieve the reality. Whoops. Oh my gosh, you guys. I'm so sorry. I haven't been looking at the I haven't been looking at you guys' comments, so I'm going to be writing them out. So, hey, Michael, how's it going today, guys? So glad you guys are here. I will be talking about the rules of breakout formations, such as channels, ascending wedges, and so forth. We're going to be going over that for sure, 100,000%. We're going to be going over the USD CAD, and also, thanks so much, Fun. I appreciate that. The coffee shows. Love the energy. Thanks. I appreciate it, Muller. Doesn't read chat, waste of time. I'm moving for my promotion. No, I'm sorry about that, you guys. I was not really paying attention to I was trying to go over the stuff, so I do apologize. But hope that I still have love for you, Fun, even though that you think it's a waste of time. I hope it's not a waste of time. I still love you. So Justin, hey, how's it going, brother? And USD FOMC meeting minutes live, definitely it's coming on right now. And True have made some shitty trades when being in the wrong mind frame. So sorry, you guys. I was kind of in the zone, you know, so I apologize for not getting to your guys' comments. So I hope you guys forgive me. So sorry about that. So going forward, so we're going to start off with Michaels. You want to talk about the breakout formations? We're going to talk about the trends. So yeah, so breakout formations are formulated usually at the low or the high of the day, or the low or the high of the week, or low or the high of the month, right? So breakout trading is definitely correlated with consolidation, right? So consolidation equals breakout. Whoops, equals breakout. So equals breakout, right? So breakout happens, or consolidation. Usually it's a lower high of the week, day, month, or year, right? So usually that breakout can happen right here. So as you can see, that's a consolidation range, right? The consolidation range is between, it could be vary of all different hours. It could be 5 weeks, 5 days, 5 years. It doesn't really essentially matter. You just have to look for a consolidation basis where then the market is now having a defined structure before price is going to break out. And usually you want to see 2 hits to the low or 2 hits to the high, right? As we can only see 1 hit to the high before we see breakout of price. So it's all good. I thought you were just ignoring us. And can you look at USD CAD? Yeah, I'll definitely look at USD CAD. Just give me 1 second, brother. I will definitely look at that. I just want to make sure I answer the questions accordingly. So moving forward, so I'm going to be doing the so the breakout consolidation is when you have 2 hits to the low, usually 2 hits to the high, but then you obviously have this consolidation where we see here, and then price breaks out, and then this is where you see the breakout is when price breaks, and then it retests that high. So as you guys can see, we just talked about that over and over and over again. Price likes to break out, and then it retests. So price breaks out, it breaks out of this area, and then it retests this area, and then we obviously have a long trade. So I hope that answers your question with consolidation breakout and where price is going. So let me just go over USD CAD, since that has been a huge one for you guys. So USD CAD has been a great trade for a short position. Obviously, we're still short. It's been going around, I want to say 500 pips. Did I get it? Almost 500 pips. So 400 pips long to the short. Obviously, we're going to have that retracement to the upside. That's why I'm still long on the USD pairs. See probably that retracement to the upside between 133,500, 133,650. So this is that consolidation area. So price, because I can see the RSI is very low, we're going to have to see that retest of where that last consolidation area was, where price then broke out of. So this is what I'm talking about, that ascending wedge. So as you can see, that consolidation, and then consolidation, then it breaks out, and then it comes back, you know. Obviously, it's coming back to previous structure lows. So this is where we're going to see price come back out. See that retest the highs. We could see price drop a little more. USD CAD drop a little more. We can see it drop to 131,500. So if you guys can see that area right here, 135,100 is an area where price can still continue to. So I'm just going to put out an indicator real fast, you guys. You know how I use the 200 EMA. I use the 200 EMA and the 50 EMA to see where price is basically going. So let me do this real fast. So first, let me put the 50 moving average down, and then let me put the 200 moving average down. So to answer you guys' question, ooh, you see that, I can't even talk right now. That moving average crossover. So guys, this is huge. So for if you guys don't understand, I use this moving average crossover as an understanding where price is going to continue. So as we now know, price is definitely going to be on a downtrend, right? So right now, we're definitely taking short positions, right? We can see that peak formation on the top, and then now we can see that correction where this is the distribution area, right? From that upside momentum. Now that that has been formulated, price has been, the pending orders have been filled, and then now they're driving price down, trying to stop out all the traders that were short, or excuse me, that were long in all of this area, and all their trailing stops are now being tested, right? So what price is going to be doing is probably testing all the psychological levels from ties. So as you can see, we saw a 500 pip run straight off the bat, right? They're like USD CAD, boom. Since it's been going on an upside for so long, you guys, and then price then is now on a new schedule where it has a new price range to establish. USD CAD is now on a different price range, so they have different prices that they can move, right? The algorithm has been reset for the new year, so now they have different prices that they can go to throughout this year. So moving forward, we're looking at prices going into the downside. So we're looking to go short USD CAD for sure, probably from here until we don't see it moving any forward. So USD CAD is definitely a short. I definitely would see if price does recommend, because it is going to be Thursday, you guys. So we talked about midweek reversals. Midweek reversals is basically when price likes to reverse during the mid of the week, which is that Wednesday and Thursday, trying to basically trap all of the sellers that were selling and then stopping them out and then continue with trend, making that lower low and that lower high, right? That's all that price tries to do. If you guys don't understand why market structure does what it does, it's basically this. It induces you, hit your stops, induces you, hit your stops, induces you, hit your stops for those scalpers, for those intraday traders. So that's why price makes those lower lows and lower highs and so forth, because price has to go into an area up and then go down, up and down. So we're going to look for that correction. If you guys don't know, I'm a counter trend trader and a continuation trader. My trading strategy is in the Discord. I put that last week, so you guys can check out all of the different trading styles that I do and why I do the positions I do. So that being said, as me personally, I'm going long for sure tonight. I'm going to put in the Discord. I'm definitely looking at this retracement. Probably around 60 to 80 pips is going to be my take profit for the USD CAD. Ooh, looks like 140. So this is going to be probably, if I look for 140 pips, you guys, I'm looking for a day and a quarter. So I'm looking for probably a 26 to 28 hour hold on this position. I'm going to be taking this trade probably during Sydney session or late Tokyo session going into London session. Reason being is that consolidation usually breaks out after Tokyo session into London session, making those huge pip moves and having those big profits. So we're going to be talking about those different time zones and how they do break out during those time zones. Another reason why is because price, as you can see, the moving averages are definitely coming into this area. So if we see that moving average squandle down a little more and we see that moving average come around here, we're going to see price start to come up and retest that moving average as the first, what do we talk about? Moving average bounce. So if that moving average bounce does happen, we're looking for that short after we see that long retracement. So I hope that answers your question when we talk about the USD CAD. The death cross, yeah, a lot of you talk about. So I entered at the peak. So moving forward, you guys, so entering at the peak, yeah, so this is definitely the peak right now, fun. The peak of the downside going to the upside. All this is, you guys, is maybe 130, 140 pip reversal. We're looking for that upside retracement and looking for that nice market retracement to make because like you said, you guys, I like to do that counter 10 trade. I like to be able to trade and make that nice profit on the downside and the upside. You know, I like to be like MJ when I'm crossing people up. No, I'm just joking. I'm playing with you guys. So I like to have make sure that I do trade both sides of the market, where both sides I can make money. So when the market is showing me downside momentum, I can make profit on the downside. But if I do see the reversal, especially if I'm maybe going out for the day, or if I have a client that I'm training, or have a business that wants to do something with me, I have to make sure that I get my trades in for the week and stuff like that. Because I am personally still a day trader, you guys. I still day trade. I still trade, but I'm not day trading every single day. I'm not trading every single day. I don't really need to at this point, but I do definitely look for positions that are high profitable positions and positions that will make all of us money. So I look for the positions that will make all of us money and make sure that we have that. So as you guys know, that we do have that meeting coming up soon, and we do have that meeting coming up very quickly. So this is why I love, so it gives us or it's right now. So right now we can click onto this and see exactly what's going on. So if you guys don't understand what this basically is doing, is that they're talking about the effects of the U.S. economy. See if prices already been established, and does it need to grow quicker? Do we need to have more? Has the inflation been established correctly? Are we going to have to do a lot more spikes? Because as we can see that a lot of prices have been retracing, and we're starting to see how can we bring price back up. But the thing is that, you guys, since Donald Trump was elected, price has been priced in for a long time. So this correction is inevitable, just like the polarity in life. What goes up must come down. Same aspects. I don't really focus on the news reports too much because essentially it's mostly all propaganda. What I do focus mostly on is where the banks and institutions like to drive price during these news events. This is where it equates to a lot of profit and a lot of scarcity for a lot of investment bankers. So I look at the BEA account. If you guys know what the BEA accounts are, you can type it in Google. Essentially, it's 7 to 8 data reports that come out every quarter that's going to go over like GDP, CPI numbers, and so forth, right? These are the most established quarterly rates that come out in the markets that people like to follow to make some profits, to lose some money, whatever they like to do with those rates. So I'm not really a big news guy, like you guys know. I'm definitely more so of a price, but I take it to a quantum metaphorical abstract point of view to be able to consider price into a right direction. So I hope that answers your question with so you have 1316 as your take profit. Let me see if that is where your 1316. Okay, so 1316. Yeah, that's a nice take profit. Looks like it's going to come down a little more. If it does, probably have a trailing stop, probably 30 pips. I recommend, since you already took it at that peak, so you're already probably in the profit. What, like around 460 pips? You probably have a 30 pip stop loss or 30 pip trailing stop. You probably have a little more room to gain. Yeah, definitely take it probably 10, 15 pips above psychological, just in case market does spike to the downside. We still have what? Let's see. We're in New York session. We're going to go into Tokyo session. So we still have like 40, 60 pips. Wait, today is USD CAD on a Thursday. I can already calculate in my brain just around 86 pips, right, of the day. So obviously this is a new year. So throw that out of the equation right now. So right now we're looking at a huge run right now, but usually price is relevantly going on a USD CAD each day between 130 pips down to 70 pips on a Monday or 60 pips on a Monday. So we're going to definitely see some momentum to the downside. That's a nice take profit. You're probably already big on that trade. I didn't take this trade, you guys. If you guys don't know what happened, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. So I've been actually in the Bay Area taking care of her, making sure she's all good. So I haven't been available. I haven't even been looking at the markets. I haven't been looking at anything for the last couple of days. I just got back last night to my house, so I wasn't able to like really get, you know, a lot of this stuff, you know, together for you guys. So I'm sorry that I wasn't able to. I know I did like 3 trades. One was Bitcoin. We made that huge profit on that Bitcoin breakout of last week. We made that nice profit, and I know that we had that consolidation at Bitcoin, but I think we're still in that trade. Okay, so no, we're not in that trade right now. So we're waiting for that consolidation to that low, and then we have that breakout to the high. So if you guys want to take a screenshot of this, you can. I'm going to have this in the Discord as well because I did this earlier last week. So my apologies, you guys. And, you know, family is really important for me. So I did have to take away time out of my average day, you know, business to, you know, take care of family, because family is more important than money. So at least I believe it is. So, yeah, so sorry about that, you guys. So, thanks, Mike. I appreciate that. So, definitely the death cross is something crazy. As you can see, the death cross is happening on all. So I want to get over the lunar cycle with you guys in the market. So the lunar cycle, we saw that was a full moon for the 5th, 6th, 7th. So the full moon, so we're on a different lunar cycle. So right now we're going to see an uptrend or a downtrend for a lot of positions. The lunar cycle is going to the downside. So when we're seeing the lunar cycle, I mean that price was essentially going to the downside. And then now we're going to see price going to the upside for Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, reason why price is going to the upside is because of this reason, guys. See a peak formation low, established end of micro bearish trend, market reversal, bullish momentum, looking for bullish trades only, which we did. We had some huge gains. We took this trade right here, where we caught at 3,800. We rode it up to 4,050, took that profit, and then this is where obviously I wasn't here. I was in San Francisco helping out my mom, and then now I put that next take profit at 4,500, where this is, I mean, high profitability because look at where price previous was. Look at previous price, structure these clues. This is where price is probably going to go towards once again, and this is why I did this analysis the way. And as you guys can see, that RSI is definitely making that flag pennant, and then it's going to break out to the upside to test this re-high before it tries to make that low. So definitely going long on the Bitcoin right now, looking nice on Bitcoin. So moving forward, Hope that answered your question, Font, on the USD CAD. What I like to see, you have definitely a nice take profit, and kudos to you, bro, for taking that nice peak formations. As you probably saw, that there was over justified optimism at all aspects of it. I mean, price was just going so high, and then you saw the divergence here where price is going up and up and up, but then the divergence was so gnarly that you're like, whoa, wait, this price is so unstable. So definitely took that huge short. Sorry, you guys, that I wasn't able to get that short for you guys. I really apologize. And I'm actually pissed off myself. I could have made a couple $1,000s in that trade. So I'm actually pretty pissed off myself. But hey, life goes on. And like I said, you don't want to FOMO and you don't want to get into a trade. So I don't recommend, if you're not in this trade right now, don't go short. I don't recommend going short. It's already been ranging for about what? Since the 2nd? And it's already been ranging for this long? No. You guys want to definitely be either looking to take profit. So if you're already up 200, 300 pips, you already have your trailing stop. Boom, you should already be in the cake, eating your ice cream and having a good time. But if you are wanting to look for a trade, I would look for a retracement. I will have that retracement in the Discord once I see the setup, because right now I don't see the setup, because I still see price moving down a little farther, where price could possibly test 131,500. So definitely, I do see your take profit being hit. I want to see a consolidation here before I see a retracement to the high, making that lower low and then making that lower high, right? And then I want to see that moving average crossover basically have that retest of that high and then continue in with trend. So that's what I see with price moving forward. But USD CAD was nice, $1 less. Yeah, definitely. So you probably up like what? 400, 500 bucks, 600 bucks, definitely a nice trade. And it depends on, what account you're using. So if you're using like Trader's Way, you got 500 to 1. And then if you have like Forex.com, we can only do, thanks, Justin. I really appreciate that, man. I really do. Thanks you guys for all the blessings. That means a lot to me. Yeah, my mom's gonna be fine. I have a totally different paradigm when it comes to diseases. I believe that anything can be cleared with the mind, with positive reinforcement and meditation. But definitely is still a scare, because we've definitely lost people in the past due to illnesses. We all have. So I definitely in my subconscious mind, obviously that fight or flight, or that animalistic instinct of is she gonna be okay, still stays in my mind. But I'm very, very, she's a strong woman. She taught me actually everything I know about psychological and personal development and positive mindset. So yeah, so it definitely moving forward. So 500 to 1 can look at Euro AUD, just hit my stop loss. So yeah, so you're probably using Trader's Way then. So yeah, so I can definitely look at Euro AUD. So if you guys have any questions, by the way, don't feel like Funk is the only one that can do that. Guys, put in your questions right now and I'll answer them. So, because basically I went over the gist of what I'm going to be talking about today. We went over, oh wait, no, I didn't go over Euro USD. So let me go over Euro USD before I go to AUD CAD. So as we can see that the consolidation breakout was formulated. So definitely looking to go for levels of rise. As you guys can see, I said market retest weekly lows, and then we had that consolidation breakout to the upside. So that being said, we took profit on this trade when we made around like 50 pips in last week. Was it last week or the week before last? And then we're waiting for that long position. We're like, okay, I'm just gonna short until I see the long position, because I saw that price was making these lower lows and these lower highs. So price is formulating, making these lower lows, making this lower low, lower low, lower high, and then I saw a consolidation range. And then I was looking at the time frame. I'm like, wait, this has been consolidated for a while, so price is definitely going to break eventually. So I saw price broke after like what, 77 days, 78 days of consolidation, and then now it's finally going to break out. So we're definitely going to see that breakout right to the upside, probably test that 11600, consolidate, retest, do that break and retest we'd like to talk about. Huge book I got all this work from, as well as Naked Forex. If you guys want to get that on Amazon, really good book. And it just has a lot of price patterns and stuff that I, studied over and over and over again consistently. So having that price breakout. So probably going to test that psychological level, 11600, testing this area of that high, coming back down, testing this breakout area where price is, probably stopping out all those breakout traders that like to break and think nothing's going to retest. I don't know why they do that, but you know, having that breakout, then having that retest, and then going long to test this previous structure high, which was September of last year. So we're looking at that 117,500 as of February to March. We're going to look at this area being hit. So this is where we're going to be going long, mostly on the Euro USD. So hope that answers your questions with it. We're Euro dollar, because if you guys don't remember, I did a structure of where price is evidently going to be going in the next couple of months in general, right? Where I wanted to show you guys where that Fibonacci level was established, or what I believe that Fibonacci is going to establish. So what I wanted to show you guys was on that daily chart, right, where I told you guys that I put a Fibonacci retracement. This Fibonacci retracement was essentially showing that this lower low and this showing this formulation here, and we talked about M formation. So if you guys are new to this channel, first put that subscribe button if you guys want to keep on talking to my hyperactive positive energy. But I use these things called investment banking proprietary strategy. So in 2017, I studied under this proprietary trader who basically taught me a lot of how the investment bankers work and how they're able to move price in such an elaborate way that a lot of people aren't making profit out of this. It was a blessing, and it was something that I was so honored to be around. And definitely I was, you know, doing the most I can, studying every night. So what I've done is that I do 11 type of setups. And these 11 type of setups are based off these proprietary investment strategies on where banks and institutions like to move price and where they like to drive price off the board. And one of them, and we will go over this in future videos if you guys are new. And if you guys want to, you guys can look at my old last 20 videos. I go over a lot of this stuff as well. I'm going over how price is formulated. So what I see here is that the 61.8 retracement is a highly traceable mathematical formulation the universe provides, right? You cut off, you look at the tree, the way that this tree spirals out, right, from the oak, right, from the root to the bark, right, to the outside. If you put the Fibonacci retracement, it goes from the 61.8 outwards, right? So in the back of our heads, how our hair spiral, we're all essentially in the same mathematical correlations, mathematical frequencies. So why I use the Fibonacci levels is basically for trend trading, and only usually trend trading. I only use the Fibonacci for basically going towards the trend. So what I see here on the daily chart is where price is made that low formation, test that 23.6, then retrace that low at that area, and then it's going to retest this high, because market lows are break and retest, just like Bitcoin did, right? Test this high, right, making that M formation at that 61.8 retracement to then break price down. So that's why I look at it from a micro perspective, a macro perspective, and a micro perspective, you guys, because price is definitely going to the upside. So that's why I go back to the 15-minute chart to then look at my price for looking for my entry. So then I take this entry and establish price in general on where price is going to go moving forward, and that's how I'm able to get those big trades and get those big leverage trades. And then I'm not just that, but then I'm able to leverage in my trade without having such a big drawdown, because I use the 15-minute chart, I use the hourly chart to essentially guide my trades, and I'm not taking trades at the 4-hour chart and expecting and looking for and trying to only make 30 pips. That doesn't make any sense. You want to look at it from a shorter time frame, because then you see the price essentially like from the nucleus, right? You put whatever under a microscope, or you're looking at it from, you're dissecting it, right? You dissect it, right? And when you're dissecting something, you want to look at it from the smallest frame possible, because now you can see everything for what it is, right? You're not looking at it from the outside perspective. You have a more interconnection with it. So that's why I use the 15-minute chart to take my trades. So that moving forward, we're going to go into Euro AUD. So Euro AUD is not a trade I do because that is an exotic pair. Exotic pair meaning that anything crossed with the US dollar that essentially, or anything that's not traded with the US dollar is called a minor pair. And it's not an exotic pair, excuse me. That was a dumb something it was dumb. It was not. So what I mean by that is that the Euro AUD is a minor pair, because it's traded against two pairs that are essentially not traded on the US market, right? So as you can see, price is going to come up just like we see here. Price came up, spiked down, come up, and then we're going to see that retest of the upside, and then probably see a breakdown after we see that retracement. But we're not going to see price probably break this area because price, the pending orders have been already filled here. So there's been a lot of pending orders that have been filled. So price is going to be definitely going up just a little bit, probably to 162,500. That's where price is probably going to do that. If not, it might test a little higher, but then we're going to see that retracement to the downside. So if that answers your question with where Euro AUD is going, I definitely think that this is a divergence too. As you guys can see, market divergence, where we talked about just earlier how price talked about, you guys, how price makes a lower low and then here makes a higher high. So we can already see stochastics are already high. So what we're going to probably see is that stop hunt to the down to induce those sellers one more time, and then price is going to break up to the upside. So nice call, man. Font, you're killing it, right? Yeah, that's a really good trade to take for the upside, probably for what, 70, 80 pips. Let's double check. Price is definitely going up for, oh, dang, even more. So 218 pips this trade could probably be. So we're going to definitely be looking at that trade. Thanks for the shout out on that pair. So we're going to definitely be looking for that upside momentum. So if you guys have any more questions, please feel free to put in the restream. I hope that I'm answering all your guys' questions. Sounds like you're doing really good, you guys. Sounds like you guys are really absorbing all the information and killing it in the markets as well. So feel free at this time to put anything as well. I do recommend Trader's Way is a good, they do have a hard withdrawal process. I don't know why. Maybe just don't do the bonuses, you guys. If you guys have bonuses, unless you want to have your money stuck there for like months, just get forex.com, get a Wanda. And if you're in Europe, you know, FX do Discopi, right? They have a lot of other different brokers out there as well. So if you guys have any more questions, feel free to put into the Discord. I'm going to be ending it in a little bit. I'm going to be in the Discord after this, just to be giving you guys some of my ideology and what I think market price is going to be in the near future. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for being on this live stream. Once again, I'm going to be filling up this notebook, you guys, and I'm going to be basically writing everything down from specifics on what I'm going to be teaching you guys per day, because I have a lot of knowledge. You know, obviously I've been studying this for about 5 years. I wouldn't even say less than 100 days out of that 5 years I've been studying this. So I would say that I want to be able to break it down to have it where by the end of like February or March, you guys are like, all right, I know exactly everything he's talking about. You guys are going to be telling me, like, Brandon, you're wrong. Like, I saw that was the Fibonacci level, like this breakout, it was Thursday. Like, you guys are going to be killing it even harder than I am. And that's going to be like, I'm going to be tears coming down my eyes because I'm going to be so happy because you guys are, you know, learning this. And if you guys are already profitable, don't even take my my setups, you know, don't even take my my education. I'm just giving this to people that I know, and people have trained. I've trained so many people right now. I have a client that later tonight, right? He's manages over $500,000, and he hired me on to teach him how to be able to be a profitable trader. So I have a lot of people that have made a lot of money off the stuff that I've taught, and obviously I've done well for myself as well. So yeah, so that's just a little recap. This is Brenton with Traders Profit Club. Make sure to stay profitable, you guys. I'm going to be logging out, and thanks for the support for my family. My mom's going to be fine. Breast cancer is something that a lot of people have to go through in their life, but sometimes life just gives you those stepping stones that you just have to jump over and make it a story, blog it, and inspire people to become better, because all life is about helping other people and making this world a better place before you hit the hay. So thank you guys, love you guys. Thank you so much for being on once again, and we will see you tomorrow. Peace out.